and playing, your mama yelling at you, tell you to stop running through the house or playing on the chair. You lose that as you go through life, not just because you got older, but because of things you encountered, like disease, COVID, high blood pressure, diabetes. All those kinds of things accelerate the loss of mitochondria, which is giving you the energy that you literally run your life with, okay? You got a lot less of it. By the time you get through going through the diseases, medications that might have been prescribed in some cases, things you get into the environment like glyphosate that's in Roundup, serial killers of mitochondria, you end up by the time you're 60 having lost half of them, right? By the time you're 70, you might be down to like 25% of what you have. It is dramatic, and it makes a dramatic difference in the way your body performs, right? Last week we were talking about vision. Because of loss of mitochondria, by the time you're 50 or 60 in low light, you need 3 times as much light to be able to see what you're doing. Loss of mitochondria. Strength and stamina, you probably figured out, if you've been around any length of time, that you're not a spring chicken anymore, right? You don't have that strength and stamina you did, loss of mitochondria. What we're talking about today, how your brain works, it's a supercomputer. It takes a lot of power, right? But how can it work as well when you've lost a lot of what it takes to make that happen? Your immune system is another good example. It defends us against everything, right? But clearly it can't do as good a job as it did when you were younger. That's why younger people tend in general to be healthier than older people do, because they got more mitochondria. So where do we come in? What's Dr. and what Mito trying to do about all of that? Well, Dr. Elliott created the technology, it's called XDS, that can regrow your mitochondria, give you back that youthful energy that you used to have, right? So your body can perform the way it used to, maybe even better. It's called, our product line is called UltraMito. That technology is in, and that's what Dale's going to come back and talk to you about. Dale.
Thank you, Roger. Listen, everybody, the first product I want to mention is called Rejuvenate. It's our topical cream. It's for your skin. From head to toe, put it in your hair, massage it into your scalp, and it's for anything that disturbs your skin, a scratch, a scrape, a cut, a bump, a mole, a blemish, anything disturbing your skin. And listen to the testimonials in the back office, and you'll hear testimonials about the impact it's had for severe varicose veins, for stretch marks and cellulite, the lines on your face. And it works like it does, doing all the things it does, because it doesn't just sit on your skin. It soaks through your skin, soaks down to the bone. It helps with your ligaments, with your tendons, with your muscles and your joints. Listen, back joints, hip joints. Your knees bothering you, you need to be using Rejuvenate. The joints in your hands, and listen, speaking of hands, if you or anybody you know has a condition in your hands or feet that can start as tingling and become incredibly severe, you're going to find that Rejuvenate becomes your go-to product for everything I just mentioned and more. Listen to the testimonials. They're astounding. Next, I want to tell you about Restore 3.0. It's our first third-generation product, and Dr. Bevan has truly created something incredible. Using a base of 2 ancient superfoods, olive oil with olive leaf and black seed. They've both been used for thousands of years because of the benefits they provide to the human condition. They mentioned olive oil in the Bible. They found black seed when they opened King Tut's tomb.
Yes, they did.
But Dr. Bevan uses several elements of each in a unique way with olive oil. He uses several elements to tune up and detoxify your cells while increasing your mitochondria. Now, that's the unique thing. That's the only we can do it thing. That's our name, MoreMito, short from mitochondria. Dr. Bevan discovered, as you'll hear in this call, when you can increase mitochondria, not tune it up, not support it, not activate what's there. Big deal. If you've only got 10% left, who cares if you can activate it or support it? Better idea. Let's take you back to the 90% levels you had when you were a kid. And it's like you're turning your body back on. All the things that have stopped or degraded start coming back. We've got lots of folks having multiple things happen. And it's all because we don't address an issue or a thing. We increase the mitochondria. And that is so unique. You'll understand when you listen to today's call. Dr. Bevan found out how to do it. And he does that part to the olive oil with black seed. He uses that to increase your energy. But it's cellular energy. It's steady. It's strong. It's not like a hit of caffeine. with a big high followed by a deep crash. It's not like a hit of sugar that does more harm than any good. Cellular energy is steady. Imagine being able to start and complete a task without a need to sit and rest. How about the disappearance of brain fog? We're going to talk about that today. How about something strenuous like a long bike ride that has a short recovery time? What it means. Cellular energy means you live life again on your terms, to its fullest. Get involved, get engaged, and get off the couch. You can do that with cellular energy. And I've only mentioned 2 of the 44 ingredients Dr. Bevan has blended to create Restore. The blending's critical. Dr. Bevan will tell you if you take a handful of vitamins, you'd be lucky if a third aren't a complete waste. Overpowered and canceled out by other things in that handful of vitamins. Everything be blended properly to work synergistically, to work together and not fight each other. And that's hard to do when you got 44 ingredients, but Dr. Bevan has figured out how to do it. Listen, it takes 8 weeks, start to finish, to make a bottle of Restore. You don't just dump a bunch of things in a pot, stir it up, and put it in a bottle. The process with XDS creates what you're about to hear today. Next is Renew, Brain and Body, our newest product. Listen, some of the ingredients we need to have to increase our mitochondria can't be delivered in a liquid phase. They have to be delivered dry. So Dr. Bevan has created Renew, these small capsules with these additional ingredients. Renew stands on the shoulders of Rejuvenate and Restore, helps with the blood flow in the extremities and the legs and the arms, the brain, helps with the firing of the synapses in the brain, getting rid of that brain fog. And just a powerful addition, this triad now of ingredients to increase your mitochondria. Finally, we have not forgotten about our pets, some of the most important members of our family. The most viewed videos on the web are pet videos. We love them, but they can suffer too. You've seen dogs that can seem hobbled, hardly have the ability to climb up and down stairs anymore, much less run around with the kids and play fetch. You may have a cat that's laying around hacking up fur balls and shedding. Look, animals suffer, and they're closer to all the bad things that destroy mitochondria. The chemicals we put on our rugs when we clean them, the things we put on the lawn to make it grow. They even have allergies to the things we have in the environment. Bring your dog back to puppy stage, your cat back to kitten stage. Make them, again, their best selves by giving them pet life. So, 4 items. Rejuvenate, Restore 3.0, Renew, Brain and Body, and Petlife. There's nothing like what these products can do when you combine them with your DNA. To hear more about that, I'm going to turn the call back over to Roger. Roger, take it away.
Remember to make sure you have your drinks, your snacks, your pens, your pencils,
Your brain.
and your
That's what we're
notebook
talking
so
about
you can
today.
take notes.
So you can be smarter, have better
And share this with
memory,
some friends and family
no
so
brain
they can get
fog,
this health
reduce
knowledge.
that stress, address those addictions, autism, ADHD, dementia, grief, PTSD, and more. That's what Dr. Dan Soloway and I have been talking about this week. You know him as a regular he's out of Oklahoma City, where he's been doing radio and podcasts now for decades. I mean, it's like his knowledge is encyclopedic. All the things he's done, all the interviews he's done with prominent people in the field. So Dr. Dan, there's a critical connection that needs to be made between exercise and your brain, among other comments you might want to make. Go right ahead.
Well, first of all, I want to say something. That last week when we talked about the eyes, we said that most mitochondria is in the retina of the eye, but the second most is in your brain. Extraordinarily active.
In your eye area.
20%
Second
of
most
your
in your
energy
brain.
is produced in the 3-pound thing we call our brain between our ears. So, I weigh over 200 pounds, and yet 20% of my energy is going through my brain. So what is producing that energy? Mitochondria. Without it, all kinds of, I don't want to say, what we classify as diseases take place when they're really, a lot of it is just an energy problem. So let's talk about exercise. Now, we used to say that stress, and we still do, is the #1 killer. It may cause heart attacks, may cause different organs to shut down. There's a whole science to how our emotional state affects particular areas of the body and particular personality types. Heart attacks for people that have trouble giving love or receiving love sometimes show up that way. Cancer shows up in people that sacrifice themselves too much, enablers. In cancer wards, nurses like that because the cancer patients don't even like hitting the buzzer when they're hurt. They worry about the nurses. So there's personality associated. Well, stress will really cause all kinds of havoc. Exercise, I think, Restore and Renew are phenomenal in what it does to stress. I'm really amazed at
Restore,
PTSD and
renew
stuff
brain
like
and
that.
body.
But also one of the best things for it is exercise. If you don't over-exercise, and you stimulate yourself, it relaxes the muscles, and there's a direct relationship between relaxing the muscles and relaxing the cortex of the brain. In fact, a lot of these, I don't know if it's still true, but years ago when I was in psychology, that these muscle relaxers, the things that were used to lower stress, were actually muscle relaxers that affected the brain. But there's another thing that exercise does that's so important. It increases blood flow. And when they look at Alzheimer's patients, that's the area where the blood flow breaks down, is areas where the brain stopped functioning. And so by exercise, increasing blood flow, you're bringing oxygen and you're bringing nutrients to the mitochondria of the brain. And the body can produce new brain cells, especially if you're learning things you didn't know before, and you're challenging the brain. It can continue to create new brain cells. Now, you used to not believe that. Now we call it neuroplasticity. And so one of the greatest things you can do is learn new things, and there's so much on the internet that is designed to stimulate the brain. You can do it on top of taking the more mitotechnology. You create more mitochondria, and then you give it something to work with. Learn something you didn't know before. Read things that stimulate you, that excite your brain, that is exciting. Learn a new language if you can. Learn to play the piano. Get up and dance. All that affects the brain dramatically. Learning to juggle. I mean, you wouldn't think it would be a big thing. They look at the brain before and after. It lights up certain areas that weren't lighting up before. And then on top of that, learning to meditate, breathing exercises that lower the stress, like closing off one nostril, breathing through it, hold it for a count of 4, close both nostrils, then breathe out the other one very slowly, like a count of 6, then breathe back through that one, close off both, and then for a count of 4 to 6, and go back out. Doing that gets both hemispheres of the brain activated and lowers your stress levels. Breathing from the stomach. And then what you eat. We eat a very inflammatory diet. We eat seed oils. The seed oils coming from
hello, everyone.
Soy, corn, safflower, sunflower, peanut oil, canola oil. All these are inflammatory. But
Feel
just
free
the
to
opposite,
put your comments.
black seed oil.
Put your questions in your comments.
Olive leaf and olive oil.
Put your questions in the comments so we can get them answered. Sorry.
Eating cold,
multitasking, reading other
cold water
messages.
fish like salmon, mackerel, sardines. Sardines are probably the best, but I like salmon better. Tuna is not any good. It's not. It's high in mercury and it's not good omega-3. It tastes good, but it's not good. Trout is good. Now, eating that, exercise, taking the more this technology, really loading up on it, it can have dramatic effects on the brain in reversing the things and lowering the stress. I'm so impressed with the people that had severe PTSD for many years took this product, and the PTSD went away. Their mood improved. And I'll give you one example I gave earlier on the part I do here. They took a group of men, and it affects women the same way, but they took a sample of their saliva when they went into a football game. And then they took a sample of the saliva when they came out. If their team won, their testosterone was up dramatically. If their team lost, it was down. And that happened, last few minutes of the football game, now they're walking out. That's how quickly your mood can affect things. So learning to meditate, doing these kind of things that lower stress will help improve your memory. And then there's all kinds of memory techniques that I don't have time to teach you, but they're out there. You look them up. There's some wonderful memory programs. And you can go from having a poor memory to a really good memory, even late in life. And then we're giving you the nutrients so the brain can take the increased mitochondria and do something with it. I'm going to give it back to you, Roger.
All right, thank you, Dr. Dan. A lot to pack in there, because we are talking about rebooting your brain. And this is a really important revelation that we had in working with this technology, started back in summer of 2019, realizing how impactful it was on everyone's health, and in particular, the health of your brain, your cognition, all that, the way it works. So let's look at it like this. You get older, and among the issues you have as you've been losing mitochondria is you're not working as well. How many of you on the phone right now have had a single moment where you walked in a room, forgot what you went in there for, you went downstairs looking for something, then you have to go back upstairs to figure out what you went downstairs for, right? To have something that can help you address all those things, eye floaters, mobility issues, pregnant, even a prostate issue, okay? If you had all that going, you'd be like, Harold, let's appreciate my conversation with him. Anybody else before we go?
Well, I just want to say that I've been using the products myself almost about since last year when I first heard about the company introduced by Alexander.
Right. So let me ask you, Harold, what were your health concerns before you were introduced to us?
My health concerns, I had floaters, a lot of floaters in my eye. I used to suffer with slight migraines, especially when I'm stressed out. And then I had a problem with my left knee. I noticed around 20 notification. I came back to the States. And it was very difficult for me to try to treat on those. It was very difficult at times to kind of have to take my time. Well, since I've been using the products, especially the Rejuvenate and the cream, I must say the cream was very helpful. And now I almost have no pains at all. And I do a lot of walking because, in my area I do a lot of walking. And I must report that I'm considerably much better. I used to get up like 3-4 times in the night. Now I do it only in the morning. I really get up like maybe just once now and then, off and on. And, my force is returning, not completely, because it was just a trickle. Now I find that because of the products, I see a difference. So that would be my story.
Excellent. Anything else along the lines of how you were performing mentally or possibly your elimination otherwise?
Yeah, my mental capacity has returned, I would say, 80%, because sometimes I get in the room and I forget, why am I here? So, my keys, I used to get.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining. We are here to teach you how to build your mitochondria up and for everybody to be positive.
That has
Thank
slowed
you.
down a lot. Even if I forget, I will stop and immediately will come to mind what I am looking for, what I'm thinking. So that's great for me as well.
Excellent.
As an addition, I would like to see more improvement on that area, so I'm going to keep taking the products.
Well, thanks for sharing that. I really appreciate it and letting us be a part of your wellness journey.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so let me talk to the new people who are on our call today, maybe for the first time, or you haven't been on very many of these, okay? Our approach is not to try to diagnose, treat, or cure diseases. That's what you have your doctor for. Our approach is to regrow your mitochondria because it affects so many things. Like there's nothing happens in your body that doesn't take energy, and mitochondria is where primarily it comes from, right? But it doesn't just allow your body to address a thing that you may be concerned about, like we're having this topic today on your brain performance. It allows it to affect everything. So as I go through these interviews with people, you listen to them, listen to all the other things you hear them talking about. He had eye floaters in addition to that. You heard him talk about his prostate, easier urination, all of that. That's his body, the process of fixing everything. And oh, by the way, you heard him say, my mental capacity has returned. Okay? Now,
awesome.
you don't have to be an older person to need your mental capacity to come back. Demar Neva, she is one of Cheney's angels. Okay, down in Florida. She's a relatively young person, but she had some challenges that included cognitive ones. Listen to what happened. Damaris, I talked to you a few weeks ago, and at that point, you had a dramatic result. It had only been 24 hours. I'm very curious to know what has happened with your health since.
Thank you so much, Mr. Roger, for the opportunity. Yes, well, since I have been bone on my knee, and from being a lifetime runner, and when I rub the technology on my knees, they don't pop as often anymore, and sometimes not at all, and I'm really loving that. Also, from having insomnia, I have better sleep, and I feel refreshed in the morning, and that is amazing for me as well. And also, my memory, my brain fog has lifted, and my energy level is elevated. And my son, he used to look at me and say, not to be funny or disrespectful in any way, but he'd say, Mom, you're acting and talking like you have PTSD. And another family member told me the same thing and asked if I was okay. And I was forgetting things, having trouble expressing myself, finding words to complete my sentences. And no one knew I was hiding the fact that I would need to text myself into the aisle at the park or take pictures of the park because I couldn't find where I would be. And so embarrassed and started to work, trying to get off the stress. But let me tell you, the more I use the technology, my focus and memory is sharper. I used to have energy and sharper every day, and I feel so relieved. I'm starting to function so much better. Back to you, sir.
Sounds like your wellness continues.
Absolutely, and I'm just so excited to continue to see how it is going to further my function and my family. I have a servant's heart, and I just really love helping people and seeing them get back to health. It just makes me feel so good, and this is just the perfect marriage here, from compensation plan to helping people, and you've done amazing. Thank you, Mr. Raj.
Thank you for sharing that, Damaris, and thank you for letting us be a part of your wellness journey.
I appreciate
hey
it.
guys,
Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
I've had an emergency to come up, so
All right,
I am
Damaris,
going
if you're on the line,
to, I'm going to leave the live going, but I am going to have to step away real quick,
okay?
and then I will
All right, so
be back
again,
as soon as I can. But I
different
don't want y'all to
things
miss
that
any of this
changed
health
after
knowledge,
you
so
allowed us to regrow
continue to
her metastasis with our
listen.
technology.
Hopefully
Okay,
it
the older
doesn't
person.
cut off.
It includes, her sleep, her
If something
blood,
happens
all
and it
those
cuts
kind of
off,
things.
then I'll just have
Right,
to
again,
get the replay
everything
and go
of
live,
course,
because I don't want y'all to miss any of this health
Now,
knowledge.
a lot of people,
I'm gonna have to stop this.
PTSD, anxiety, cravings, all those kinds of things. And sometimes it comes from you just got hit in the head too many times. Physical trauma, like Mike Grant, I met down in Atlanta, former heavyweight champion, a lot of concussions and stuff. But regular people.
Oh yeah, you can hear his testimonial as well on the Health Award Show with Stephanie
like
under
that was the case.
concussions.
William from Quebec. William in Quebec, Canada. It says. William.
How's it going?
Good. Go right ahead with your question or comment, please.